Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Iraq Priestess here, and thank you for watching today's video. Today's video is going to be about the top 10 red flags for those of you that are looking to have godparents in a closed tradition. So I'm specifically going to concentrate on the traditions that I practice. So Haitian voodoo, Santeria, okay, those are the kind of where this video falls in line to. So if you're interested in any of those type of traditions and you're like, I want to get initiated, I feel a calling to it, there are top 10 red flags that you guys should look out for to make sure that you're not getting scammed out of your hard-earned money and things of that nature. But before we get started with this video, if you want to get a private reading with me, there is a link on this video on the description box of this video. It's shamanic@priestess.com, and there you can literally book a reading with me. And yeah, I have specialized readings. Every type of reading is in the description of the different types of readings. So if you click on the store of my shop, you will see that there's a description and it describes the different types of reading. I do regular traditional tarot readings, and then I also do specialized readings, spirit court readings, spiritual communication, all those kinds of things. So those type of readings are also on my website. Also, I have memberships. So for those of you that like to learn and want to study things on your own, such as angels, crystals, orishas, stories, learn about, my practices, Haitian voodoo, topics, have monthly meetups, daily card readings, monthly and bi-monthly free readings, and much, much more. Witchy blogs, all the things, that's all available. Book reviews, honest book reviews, books that actually nobody gave me, I paid with my own pocket. So any of those unfiltered content that you are interested in, that's available on my memberships. You just click join and you can look at the different levels and see at which price point and tier you want to become a member. Okay. All right. So now let's get into the actual topic at hand. So the top 10 red flags of godparents, madrinos, padrinos, things like that, of closed traditions. This can also apply to things like 21 division. You get the point. But the paths that I, specifically made this video for was Santeria, Haitian voodoo, things like that. So just a disclaimer, I am initiated into like a couple of closed traditions. So let's say like more than 3. And things like that. Even if I specifically only practice like 2 mainly nowadays, things like that, spirituality has evolved, but I've had experiences with godparents. So this is why I made this list. And also because of certain things that clients have shared with me and people in my life. And so I was called by spirit and by the ancestors to make this video. So that way you guys can protect yourself from being scammed. So if you're interested in that, grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's get into it. So number 1, one of the top red flags would be if they contact you on their own. Okay, if someone contacts you through social media, okay, they just start to like, hey, you are cursed and blah 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 blah, and just you'll see people like this. You have content creators and people will have WhatsApp numbers, or they'll have links. Oh, doctor, whatever, he cured me made my ex come back in 24 hours. Because I've had issues like that where I've had to delete messages even for my own stuff. I've seen it on other people's channels. So they'll just start advertising themselves on other platforms. They'll actually, contact you through Facebook, Instagram, whatever. They'll find different ways. Like they are the ones contacting you, kind of trying to pressure you into getting initiated. Okay, so they're contacting you through social media. I've heard many horror stories of so-called babalaos and all these things, or even mambos, hugans, whatever, literally contacting people through social media. So that is a red flag. That should not be happening. Number 2, when you are meant to be initiated, I tell this to people all the time. and a calling is for you, you will find your godparents. You know, you can ask the spirits to reveal somebody in a dream. You can pray, petition on it. When something is meant for you, the spirits will open those doors for you. Always remember that. You don't have to go looking. Number two, they have, like, once they get you, you know, they're rushing you to initiate quickly. Like, you need to pay me this money. You need to get initiated right now. Like, right now, like, they have this, like, desperate need, this desperate energy to get you initiated. Is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very pressure tactics, kind of like a pressure salesman, a door-to-door salesman type of energy, where they're just like, you need to give me all this money, blah, 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 blah. So it's very desperate. It's very, like, tacky. It's giving very, you know, nasty energy, stuff like that. Okay, so yes, a rush to initiate. Basically, like, you got to get initiated, and they're just so consumed with you paying them to get initiated. You don't even know this person. They just literally like, I just met you 5 minutes ago. Like, you need to get initiated. Okay. That is a scammer. That is a sign of, that is definitely a red flag. Just like any religion, because these are religions, right? You don't go to a Christian church or whatever, you know, and they'd be like, you have to get baptized right now, right? You go to classes and you learn about baptism, or at least that's the way it's supposed to be, unless you're in a cult, right? You learn about what baptism is, right? You take classes and you learn and all the things, and, you know, you get to know your godparents, and that, you know, the correct way to do things. That is what an initiation is. It's like a baptism, if you will. It's you making a lifelong commitment to the spirits. Just like you wouldn't marry somebody, or you shouldn't marry somebody you just met 5 minutes ago, you shouldn't just initiate into a religion you have no idea about. And a good godparent is not going to pressure you to do something like that, because they're literally setting you up for failure. If you're going to initiate into a tradition, aka a religion, because it really is a religion, you need to have an understanding of what it is that you are initiating into. There are certain rules, regulations, way of life, thought process, values. You need to know the historical, spiritual, you need to know what deities you're aligning yourself to. You need to know more of the ins and outs. So it's important for you not to be in such a rush just to quickly initiate into these things. A good godparent is not going to rush you to said things, okay? They're going to want to take their time and make sure that this is the right decision for you. Number 3, beware of fake initiations, okay? For instance, initiations, a real, true, authentic, traditional initiation always has to take place in person. It is not done through Skype. It is not done through video chat. Is not done through Instagram lives. Is not done through any of that. An initiation is done through a godparent that you have met, you have some kind of relationship with, and it is done in person. It is done hands-on, in-person type of situation. There's usually other santeros, whatever, present, babalaos, depending what tradition you're in, there's other people present, and things of that nature. So it is something that's done in person. It is never done through means of social media, even with modern day things, because certain baths, prayers, certain things are done that you cannot do over social media. You cannot do through the internets, if you will. So an initiation is done in person and in person only. Okay, that may require that you fly out to certain destinations, because usually, depending what house and stuff like that, some people's, their base is maybe in Florida or Haiti or Africa or whatever it is. Your initiation, wherever the person that you're initiating under, they have usually a home base. You're going to go in that place. You're not going to do it over social media. That's just not a thing. You're going to do it in person, okay? Because they have to set up your spirits and crown you in the correct way, okay? They are putting spirits into you, okay? And so it has to be done appropriately, or it can create chaos in your life, okay? So that's what it is. Number 4, your godparent should have a good and abundant knowledge of the religion itself that you're initiating to. So basically, they're supposed to mentor you, right? You're supposed to learn from this person. Traditionally, it would be that you would, learn from this person for like a year, and they would teach you things and tell you the origin stories and teach you about, these are the spirits that walk with you and this and that and the other. And you sit at their foot and you learn their knowledge. You learn the appropriate way of setting up sacred space. You learn appropriate offerings. So basically, before you even initiate, right, you should have already established some type of practice under the guidance of your potential godparents, right? They're supposed to be teaching you the days, the ins and outs, the daily practice, the meditations. Your godparents are the ones that, give you your links or things like that. And voodoo, we don't have that, but I'm saying, Santeria, they do. So they were the ones that give you the spiritual tools. They're like pretty much mentoring you, so that you're under apprenticeship, if you will. You're learning with them. Back in the days and traditionally, your godparents, especially if you have a calling to serve the misterio, the mysteries, you will go along with them when they will be in service to other people and things of that nature. So you get to see rituals and stuff in person. You get to see this person lead a ritual. My nose is not running anything, but I feel like I have lipstick on my nose. I'm sorry. I'll stop doing that. I don't want to be distracted. So you will be able to walk with your mentor and go along with them as they're doing things for the spiritual community. Okay, so that is what mentorship is. It's like that whole saying, a year and a day kind of situation. Like, you will be under their guidance. They will be teaching you, because the thing about a godparent is we are well, I'm not a godparent, but they are responsible. That is not my calling. Just letting you know. I'm just telling you what I know. Okay, as an initiate and all these things. Okay. So godparent, right? They are responsible for your spiritual condition. They are responsible for your spiritual path. They are responsible for these things. So if you do something wrong, the spirits will hold that godparent accountable if you did not teach them things correctly. So one of the red flags is when you notice that your godparent don't know what they're talking about. Okay, they making stuff up as they go. You could tell this person Google some things and they're just trying to get your coin. Okay, they should be able to answer your questions. Okay, so a godparent will be willing to, answer your questions and things like that. They will be able to know the in and outs and the protocols of the religion, and they will already know that they are supposed to take you under mentorship before the ceremony part, before the initiation, right? They have to teach you what the foundation of the religion is. What is the basis of it? What is the everyday thing? So when you get initiated, you can kind of do your own thing. You know how to pretty much venerate and honor the ancestors and things of that nature. Does that make sense? So you should be getting knowledge directly from your godparents, not from a book, not from a video. When you are seriously thinking about getting initiated and you are like, these are the godparents, or this is my godparent, that person's responsibility is to educate you on the religion, not just to take your money and do a ceremony, but to actually educate you. That is what a godparent does. They are someone that watches over you spiritually. That is what it is. Okay, anything other than that is not your God. It's not a real godparent. It is a red flag. Okay. Number 5 is they won't contact you after they get their money. They do this said ritual or whatever. Then after that, you're trying to call such and such, and you find out they have blocked you. You never hear from them again. That is not what it is. A godparent is a lifelong relationship. You are part of this spiritual family now, right? This person will still contact you. You have like a family relationship. You are their spiritual child. They are going to continue to mentor you. There's more than one ceremonia, and the higher level you get in a path, the more initiations, rituals, more things are going to happen. It's not just a one end all be all thing, right? You're going to receive other spirits and things of that nature. So the relationship with your godparents is an ongoing, lifelong relationship, right? So they, if someone cuts off communications once they get your money, you pretty much were scammed, because that is not how that works. Okay. Number 6, they won't answer questions at all. Like, you don't need to worry about that. Just get initiated. You ask questions. You don't need to worry about that. So a red flag is someone who's very selfish with the knowledge, okay? Not everyone has a calling to be a godparent, because if you are selfish see, my calling is to teach. I like to teach people how to develop relationships with spirituality. So when you guys are ready to initiate, you already have a practice going. So when you get your godparents, okay, it's less likely you will get scammed because you kind of know the ins and outs of things. You have that direct relationship. The spirits will guide you to the right person to mentor you, and so forth and so forth, right? Because nowadays you have a lot of scamming going on, okay? So spirit has called me to mentor. Okay, when someone has a calling to be a godparent, they have to be willing to answer questions about the spirits. You cannot be selfish with the knowledge. That makes no sense, because your job is to teach. And your job is not only just to teach at that moment. Like me, my class is over, I taught, I did my thing. A godparent is beyond that. Not only am I teaching you, but this is a lifelong journey. Like, we have an ongoing relationship. You are my spiritual child. I am responsible for your spiritual growth and things of that nature, okay? So there's someone that you can go to when you are at a crossroads, when someone's texting you. That is your person. Like, you don't need another reader. You don't need it, because your godparent is that person you go to for that counsel. Yes, you would still, financially compensate your godparent. You're not going to sit here and be like, hey, everything's free. No, they got to make their money and whatever. But the point is, that is the person that you're supposed to go to, your refuge, if you will, that person that prays for you, that person. So think about, like, if you guys were like in Abrahamic religions, a godparent's kind of like that pastor, you know what I'm saying, in a church that prays for or supposedly prays for the flock. You go to, once you baptize, you're part of that church community. You go to your pastor, you go to your spiritual leader when you are in turmoil, when you are in a crossroads spiritually, right? So same idea. Again, it is a religion, okay? So you got to think of it that same way. Okay, so if they're not willing to answer spiritual questions, just like if you went to a church and the pastor ain't knowing the Bible or answered your question, like, same thing with a godparent, okay? Number 7 is they're controlling, okay? They don't want you talking to other people. They, don't like you to go against their authority. They act very godlike, very egotistical. That is not a good trait of a godparent, and that is definitely a red flag. There are sexual predators, okay? Trigger warning. They are sexual predators in the spiritual community that disguise themselves as godparents. That is not part of the spiritual path. You do not have to sleep with your mentors. That is not a thing, okay? That will not take all spirits, okay? Because they have been, just like in any religion, you have your really evil people. Okay, there are sexual predators, so be wary of that. Okay, that is not a thing. You have people that may be abusive financially, emotionally, or spiritually. Okay, they are getting all your money and they don't care that you have to pay your rent. I mean, when I'm saying they're getting all your money, like, they're literally always saying that you're hexed and cursed. You're under the mentorship of this person, and your life has never been worse. Your finances have never been worse. It is a sign that that godparent that you have is literally is hexing you, right? Your life should be improving under the mentorship of someone, right? It should not be in worse turmoil. It should not be to the point where you're like, I'm worse off now than I was before I met this person. It just seems like and they just keep, like, you have to keep paying me money because I got to keep lighting them candles. I got to keep giving those offerings. So make sure that they're not taking advantage of you financially, emotionally manipulating you, always, you're in constant spiritual threat, being sexual predators, like, in order for you to be part of this religion, you have to, like, submit to this person. No, none of that is not part of the religion. That is all red flags and illegal in many cases, okay? Number 8, if you see, right, because in any religion, the leader, right, the spiritual person, the godparent, if you will, should have their life in order, right? If their life is constant chaos, their personal life, everybody has problems, but I'm talking about like they're messy, their life is chaos. That is a red flag, because like if you are in a good spiritual place, like there should be some type of order in your life, right? Chaos attracts chaos. So if your godparent is messy and their life is constantly in chaos, that energy is going to attach itself to you, and then you're going to constantly be in chaos and turmoil and all the nasty things. Okay, so yeah, so basically the spirits are saying, you know, one of the red flags is if you notice that person's life is always constantly in chaos and is messy, run. Literally run. Okay. Number 9, they bully you or others on social media. Anybody who comes against them, okay? They literally bully, okay? And they're always having some kind of social media fight. Oh, this spiritualist, and they're naming people. Like, I've had fights with spiritualists, because there are not always some good people, but I have those in private, okay? And in my spirit room with my spirits, okay? If I give examples on my channel, I don't name names, but there are actual people out here in these YouTube streets and this Instagram streets and all that stuff. They're actually naming people, doxing people, having their followers bully this person. That is not someone you want to be mentored under, because in that same way, if you don't pay them or if you go against them, they're going to bully you in that same way. And a godparent would never bully their godchild. That is a sign of a spiritual bully, a spiritual person that's in a dark path. That is not someone you want to mentor under. And last but not least, okay, okay, you should never, one of the red flags of a godparent that you should watch out for is someone who needs you to feed their ego. They literally, like I was saying before, like abusive behaviors, I want to come right back to that. Someone who literally acts like they are gods, okay? They are gods. They want you to always compliment them. They want you to act like, you know, they are the spirits in incarnation. I am a goddess. I am all of this, or I am a god, you know, and all these things, okay? Be careful with people that are egotistical, that are self-serving, that are pretty much act cultish, pretty much want you to be subservient to them. That is not a good godparent, because that is not how it goes. So make sure that you are careful. So when you are looking for godparents, make sure that you are looking out for these signs. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. Please let me know in the comment section if you guys ever got, you know, if you ever had bad experiences, or you know anybody who's had bad experiences with charlatans or bad godparents or anything like that. I would love to have a discussion down in the comment section of this video. Please share this video, because I feel like this video could help a lot of people. I was very drawn to make this video. Much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, bye.